So really quick video here. I wanted to talk about the Watcher one more time. This is at least what Dallas called him when I spoke to Dallas a couple of days ago. There's some updates that I got from Dallas personally. I was actually on set on Friday in Texas, talking to a bunch of different people, meeting a whole bunch of the cast and crew, as well as doing an interview with Jordan Walker Ross, who plays Little James. So if you're interested in that and you want to watch it in the future, subscribe. That interview will be out eventually. But I wanted to talk about this character one more time because I got some more insight onto who this character is and who this character is not. One of the first things that me and Dallas talked about whenever we met up in Texas, he was getting off of shooting for The Chosen Season 5 and going into a lunch break. We got to chat about some different things that were happening in The Chosen and different things that are happening in the community during the time. And it was really, really funny because one of the first things he brings up is this character right here, and talking about how everybody online is just freaking out about this character, how they're not sure who he is or what's happening. And one of the cool things about this character is it's one of the only times in The Chosen that we really get to have this moment of kind of like, we have no idea who this character is, right? In the past, every time we've been in an episode, generally the characters are named, generally we know who the characters are, and even if they're not named immediately, we kind of can guess who they are depending on the biblical moment or what is actually happening in this scene. However, this is one of the characters that we have no idea who he is. He has no biblical connection, and scripturally we can't decipher, who this is overall. So we had a lot of different theories. We talked about probably around 12 to 15 different theories ranging from Saul or Paul all the way to the main theory that I kind of stuck with, which is this is maybe the thief on the cross, which I think is the most plausible. And then there was a major theory that a lot of you guys had that I really disagreed with, which is this is Satan. And you guys thought that this is Satan watching over Christ defeating death, and whenever he defeats death and Lazarus is raised, he actually runs away. Now, we've talked about this a lot within The Chosen in particular, that Dallas really shies away from the supernatural end of things and showing, demons and angels in a way that a human wouldn't experience them. So, for example, we've seen demon-possessed people, but they always look like people who are erratically behaving, or they have something within them that is speaking out of them, right? We never actually see the form of a demon or an angel or these other things that kind of take place within scripture, because The Chosen is often from a human point of view, okay? So we talked about this guy specifically. We talked about kind of where he's at or what he is. No, Dallas did not tell me exactly who he was, but he did say that I could quote him on this. This is not Satan, okay? Dallas said that he will not put Satan in the show. This is not an embodiment of Satan or the devil or a minion or something like that. This is not some supernatural evil being who is looking over this and kind of discussing this. That's the first thing that he told me. So I wanted to tell you that, and I did ask him in particular if I could share that with you guys because I know so many of you had that theory that he was going to be Satan, and I was so sure that it was wrong. So we had to talk about that. So that's number one. He is not Satan. We know that for sure. We heard that from the man himself. Secondarily, he also said that he's not going to tell us who this is because it's so much fun that to guess and to talk about these different theories and to have these different things in The Chosen that we don't often get to have. And so he did say, though, that one of the guesses that he's seen online, possibly in our content, is a correct guess. So it has been said on our channel, most likely, what the correct guess is for this, but he would not tell us which guess is correct. So out of all of our guesses, again, I'll kind of label the top ones for us. Number one, it could be something as simple as a spy for Atticus or Pilate or for Caiaphas, right? Or it could range all the way up to someone like Barabbas, or it could be the thief on the cross, or it could be maybe even a brother of Jesus who's trying to hide away from what Jesus is doing because he doesn't agree with what Jesus is doing, right, during his earthly ministry. There's a lot of these different things that we talked about in the previous episodes, so if you haven't seen those, go and check them out. But we do know finally at least some conclusive news from the man himself when I talked to Dallas just a couple of days ago. One, it's not Satan, and two, we have said the name of this person, but he wouldn't tell us who it was. Jesus. So that's kind of our conclusive ending for this. It's probably the last I'll talk about him until we get more news coming up, maybe in season 5, maybe in season 6. We don't know. Maybe it's super boring and it's just some random, messenger. I would really hate for that to be the case. I'd love for it to be someone significant, but we don't know quite yet. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Again, I know you guys have been leaving so many different theories, so many different thoughts. I'd love to hear them in the comments. I love having those discussions. Hey, really quick, if you enjoy our channel and you want to see more videos just like this, the best way to help support us beyond just watching these videos, thank you by the way, is by going to snipesupport.com. This is a place where you can offer $5, $10, or $25 a month, and it really helps us to have a more stable environment here on YouTube. It can be really hard sometimes, months being up and down, revenue being all over the place, because advertisers are really fickle. And what happens if a political advertiser decides to be on our channel, or if someone who doesn't like Christianity doesn't want to be on our channel because of what we talk about? There's a lot of different things that I can't control with that, and so Patreon really helps us to have a stable environment. Thank you to all of our people that are on Patreon now, and if you do want to join, there's a link down in the description down below, or you can just go to snipesupport.com. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Did I get any juicy bits on my trip to the Chosen HQ? So I can't share anything that for sure was like a spoiler. I told them ahead of time, so again, those of you that don't know, just a couple of days ago, I went to the Chosen set and I got to meet with a bunch of the people over there. This is not an AI picture. This is me in the stream studio with Jordan Walker Ross, who plays Little James. Did an interview with him, got to hang out with him. I also got to hang out with some of the other people that were along on this trip, which is Ruslan and his team. Ruslan is another big YouTuber, if you don't know who he is. And then this guy right here, right behind Ruslan, is Christoph, and he is the director of marketing. And so I got to hang out with those guys, and we got to tour the set and do a whole bunch of different stuff over there, which was a ton of fun. And so yes, I basically told them ahead of time. I said, do not tell me any big spoilers. If there's any big spoilers coming up in season 5, don't tell me what's coming up. Try to keep spoilers to a very minimum. So there are a couple of little things, like for example, there are certain locations that are coming up in season 5 that now I know about because I was on the set, right? And so that happened 2 or 3 times where there's a couple locations that I'm going to have to snip out of my content there in order not to show you basically those specific locations. And so I won't talk about that kind of stuff. I'll avoid those spoilers as always. I'm not going to use any privileged information or behind the scenes information that I got from my trip over there. So yeah, I won't do that. So I will keep it to what we see online, just as we always have done. We'll keep it to exactly, what's kind of going on socials or whatever else. And we'll do that. So the Watcher is married. He's wearing a wedding band. I don't know if that is what you think it is. I don't believe they had wedding bands like that back in the time of Jesus. And so I don't think it would be a wedding band. I think it would be like a nice ring that he has on. So no, it's definitely not Joseph of Arimathea. Yusuf is Joseph of Arimathea, like 100%. We are almost 100% certain of this because of everything lines up for him to be Joseph of Arimathea. His name is Yusuf, which is Joseph. His dad, Arnon, is very wealthy. He comes from a wealthy family in Jerusalem. He is part of the Sanhedrin now, right? So that's basically everything that we know of Joseph of Arimathea, other than where he's from originally, which we obviously haven't been told because they're trying to save it for a reveal later on. I've also had an interview with Yusuf and Jairus, the actors who play them, and I was very, very coy with him the entire time, and it was very much like he was laughing back at me, right? So the signals there when I was talking with him on stage in front of everybody at ChosenCon last year, I had an interview with him, and it was very much like, okay, like we know what's going on, and obviously he wasn't wanting to give any spoilers, but for sure he's Joseph of Arimathea, almost certainly. I'm thinking the mystery man is either a spy for Atticus, hence his confirming the news for Pilate, or one of the 3 zealot friends of Simon Z. So we went back and looked at the zealot friends. I don't think it looks like any of them. I really don't think so, but yeah. Since Mary already washed Jesus' feet, what do you think we'll see for the Last Supper? Well, in the Last Supper, Jesus washes their feet. So he will wash everybody else's feet. And we will for sure see that in season 5. We will see the Last Supper in season 5. We will see the washing of the feet in season 5. We will see the cleansing of the temple in season 5. We'll see Judas at least get closer to the betrayal, if not the betrayal in season 5. My guess is that we are going to see the betrayal. And then we're also going to see Jesus be arrested. We're going to see Peter attacking the guy and cutting off his ear. We're going to see a bunch of really, really key things in season 5. What's up, Dallas? You're up late. Thanks very much for your thoughtful discussions these past 6 months, including the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, of course. That's what we love to do. It's been, especially this last month has been insane. I mean, tonight we had 1,400 people on this live stream, which is by far the most we've ever had. So thank you for creating an amazing product and continuing to make an amazing show. As you know, I love the show, and I wouldn't be able to talk about it as much as I do if I didn't actually love the show and actually love talking about it. So yeah, I appreciate you a ton.